Oh man, I've been sitting here half asleep waiting for this this update, man. Let me tell you something. Well, let me show you guys something. I haven't even clicked on it yet. Before I read this, I just want to say that I hope you guys understand that the current state of the game is not going to be fixed by one character. So I'm really hoping that this update maintenance notice has more than just Iris is in the game or Valentine is in the game or something of that nature. Right now, people are bored out of their fucking mind. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and today's video will be filled with a lot of excitement or a lot of anger. But it's 100% MFO. We've been waiting, a lot of people have been waiting. Usually the news drops about maybe 1 to 2 hours earlier, I think. Usually I fall asleep and then I wake up and I'm like, okay, the news is already out. 2, 3, 4 creators have already put their videos out. And it's funny to be like, and I have nothing to do. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. And regardless of what this thing says, is I kind of touched on it in the intro, is that a lot of people are very bored right now. People are, this is the stuff that I was talking about. It's not me that makes these games bad. It's not my critiques of these games. What it is when the game is now running out of content. So here it is. This is the 7.29 update maintenance. Blah blah blah. Make sure you guys do it. Remember, I always tell you guys, and I should keep saying it more frequently, like, comment, and subscribe. But also, besides that, when there is a maintenance, stack up all your Levi stones and then go on a smart exploration. If you do that, you will actually be in a it will still tally throughout the thing. So it's like a nice way to get stuff done while the maintenance is going on. So nice little tip if you didn't know. So what else do we have here? Can't access the game. Fake core. So it is correct that it's going to be Iris. So that is now confirmed. Iris is going to be the fake core. I do hope. I remember they were doing, I think Clint was showing that they were promoting it. They were having the model, the voice actor. But the problem is that it looked like the same animations, and that's kind of bad, especially for the gold fake core. Did they tell you it's gold? Is that confirmed? Well, the gold banner, right? That means it's gold, right? I think that means she's gold. I think the gold banner means she's gold. But I hope that her animations, her S2 and S3, are changed dramatically, because that is the expectation that we have now come to assume from gold-based characters, that their animations are drastically different from the black and, even the blues. So, yeah, I never... Does anyone check this? I never do. I mean, this is just a fake core boosted stats, so you're gonna get an additional blah 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 blah. All right, so this is all scrunchy. Can I click it? No, this whole thing is clickable. All right, let's dive in. Let's see if I can zoom in myself. Actually, I can. The power of Google Chrome. So of course she has the same thing here, as we all know. Then she's gonna also have the wet fog. Removes all barriers the enemy has when the enemy uses barrier once per round. Mark, when the enemy barrier is removed by the effect of wet fog, the defense of all enemies is decreased by 20% of own max health. Yeah. Yeah. So we finally have a barrier counter. As we all know, that's obviously a super, not even a jab, that's like a fucking rocket uppercut Super Saiyan, what is it, Akuma, death stance thing. It pretty much kills Dragon Scale almost completely, but it is per round. So it removes all barriers the enemy has when the enemy uses a barrier once per round. So it's going to stop it from that one particular unit. But when the enemy's barrier is removed by the effect, the whole enemy team gets a defense break pretty much. So yes, you can do it on one, but since I've done this, I'm gonna put the card. Since I have proven that the defense break does now work. It's not that I guess it's not that big of a proving, but we proved that the defense break does work. It is essential to weakening Dragon Scale. So this does weaken Dragon Scale significantly. So it's not like a huge like nerf to it, but it also takes out other barriers, which in retrospect kind of screws over other characters that have barriers, which would be in the same essence of, you know, Chatty. You know, now you can't really use Chatty that often. Now, what I am curious about this barrier tech is that if this works for reflex and things of that nature, shared health, do they consider those barriers? Because barrier is not really considered anything in the game, so they haven't really made it a thing outside of when you get a barrier. So I'm just curious if it only works for that. Then I guess you're gonna also have to be careful with characters that pick barrier. Also, when you have characters like in the Coliseum and stuff like that that have barriers, it's gonna be pretty good for that as well. So she's pretty much a good character regardless. And I think when you think about also the lab, she's gonna be a pretty good character for that, for stages that might include that. So I think a lot of people are going to be using her, because if I just look down a little bit further, she has a 1 mana barrier. Actually, no, it is not a barrier anymore. 1 mana, remove all status and gain 2 mana. So they took the barrier aspect out of it, which would make her a counter to herself, right? But she takes the barrier aspect out of it, and now you gain 2 mana, which is really good. Her speed is not going to increase, but of course, once she drops in the game, once I get my voice back, hold on. Did Iris just make me thirsty? Once we get into the game, of course, there's going to be a review for Iris and really flesh her out, because now, again, this is one of those times where she got the Rara treatment, where she's literally differently designed. Like, Rara has a poison on her S2 and FC Rara doesn't. You know, regular Rara has a AoE piercing and FC Rara has AoE burst damage. So it's pretty cool to see this. No other integrations with any other. Oh wait, I completely. Let's get the. I know someone's like, this motherfucker. Flip flop, or flop flop actually. If the caster has a removable buff, each valid attack imbues modification for 3 turns. Why would you introduce? Big problem that I have with this game. There's too many keywords that mean too many different things. Why is there 6 different versions of a stun? Just call it a stun. Why? I do like the system where it's just like buff and debuff. It doesn't matter if it's a damage over time, doesn't matter if it's attack, break, or whatever. Just make it a debuff so you can have it. This cleanses debuffs and call it a day. When you do try to make it more intricate, it has to make more sense, and right now it just doesn't. So it's just, this is what is imbues modification. Now we got to test that out. So it's for me, it just halts my review of the character, because I have to find what that is so I can say, oh, this makes the character good. Wet fog in general, it's pretty good, but like I said, if the cast has a removable buff, as we already know, which is the same thing with Summer's Blessing. No, sorry, not Summer's Blessing. It's the same thing as Ice Shower, which it seems that she does not have. She does not have Ice Shower. So instead of Ice Shower, she gets modification. We'll have to figure out what modification is. Hopefully they say something about it. Of course, her damage is going to go up because it has to be in line with the unlock potential stuff. So there is that. I wonder if when you unlock potential this move, do you get 2 mana later on? That'd be interesting to note. And of course, the AoE cleanse of status effects does help a lot when you get provoked by block as well. So really overall solid character. We just need to figure out what modification is. All these exclusive weapons. I thought this one was already in the game. Scarlet, I guess what are they doing? Chance up. Iris Summer Bracelet Recruit. What? Oh, okay. So they're doing a. Oh, you'll get her Summer Bracelets if you want to summon on that, and it costs as no one's doing that. That's now a lot of things I will say, like, is whale or what is not whale. It's just that this is more whale, because why would you do that unless every time you summon on here you literally get exclusive weapons, or at least always faded gear. I don't see anyone doing that. They'd have to prove to me that it makes sense. Definitely not the and it's 28 summons. Oh, that's so funny, kind of. 28 pity for these, and it costs as. Come on, guys, why? It's just why. It's no reason. There's no reason. There's no reason. See, main system updates and modifications. So here it is. This is the Path of Trials is open. This is, I think, the Labyrinth. From the Path of Trials, you'll be facing the boss who stood against you in the main storyline, but this time they will be even more powerful. Once you clear the main story 4-6, you'll be able to participate in the Path of Trials by clicking on the button on the bottom right corner of the story menu. Path of Trials consists of 5 chapters. The main region. They were kind of talking about this before. I thought this was so it's pretty much more content, which is good. This is what I was hoping, that they had it in there, that this is not going to just be pure, you know, all we have is Iris and apparently a really scumbaggy weapon craft system. But we got some more content coming to the game. First clears, there's going to be some awards. As you can see, obtainable list for clears, experience scrolls, abrasives, spirits, holy water of the universe, which is great. That's probably the only thing I really care about. Exclusive weapon craft ticket, that sounds pretty good. Legendary faded weapons, also pretty good. You know, all this stuff needs to have is those late game things, you know, the stuff that people are looking to do later in the game. That's all they really need to have. As a final stage clear reward, the path to chapter 3 and 5, the exclusive weapon will be sent to your mailbox. Unlike the previous story content, you can check the info of the next stage in advance. Okay, letting you know you can kind of prep your team. So that's going to be cool. That's also good for content creators. We'll have something to, you know, post. Look at how you do this. The star mileages will be given according to the stage. So we're also getting extra ZEUZ. Will be according to the mileage you obtained so far. So that's pretty good. Also, that's increased ZEUZ. So thank you. Just thank you. More ZEUZ. We need ZEUZ. The star mileage is not fit. So it looks like there's going to be more ZEUZ. Extreme, very hard, normal, easy combat power. I guess, I don't know. I guess to help people better assess what they're doing. Unlike the previous story content, the combat power penalty will be applied in 4 levels. But see, the penalty doesn't really matter, like in most cases, unless it meant to do something. All right, here we go. Labyrinth is updated. So this is what they were talking about before. The labyrinth is back now too. Here are the 5 paths: Sky Gate, Sky Path, Starry Corridor, Abyssal Gate, and Abyssal Path. So it looks like everyone's going to ignore all of these. Maybe this one, but everyone's, at least me, I'm just going for the Holy Word of the Universe and see how that works. And we'll do that. Has been divided into 5 themes. Each theme has a lower labyrinth, 5 lower gates, and you get to obtain ZEUZ by clearing the lower labyrinth. So it looks like the lower labyrinth is going to contain it. They're probably not going to tell us. Let me just scan through. It doesn't look like it. They're not going to tell you how many you're going to gain. But if it's close to what it was, which a lot of people I think noted 4,500 to 5,000. Like if there's 1,000 ZEUZ at the end of each one, then you can't really complain. I mean, you can, but it is loaded. It is slowed down, I should say, but you can only really do, I think, either it's going to be 1 maze per day, or it's going to be one dungeon, like 1 section per day or something like that. It obviously can't be 1 section per, you know, week or something like that, because it's 5 of them, and then that wouldn't work out for in your favor. But if you could do 1 per day, that means by the end of the week you do finish 1, but then you're X-naying on 1 of them, which I think most people wouldn't kind of sort of matter that. Because I would, obviously, most people are going to go Holy War of the Universe. They're going to probably go this. This is just a good thing to have. Go with this, and then go with gold. And this is never going to get taken ever. So, it's, I mean, I don't know if these rotate, but as long as it always has Holy War of the Universe, I'm game. Because I don't think that they had Holy War of the Universe before. I think they only had ZEUZ. I think ZEUZ was the only thing you got from the Labyrinth. So, adding more stuff to it, and if you can keep it. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Cash, do you mind if they lowered the ZEUZ that you get because you get these things? Hard sell for me, but I think that if it went down to 3,500, like they took 1,000 ZEUZ off of it, if it was 4,500, right, and they took 1,000, but you take 1,000 away, but you get 1 Holy Word of the Universe, I think that kind of, for me in general, that's fine, because you're getting 1 and then you're getting all this stuff in comparison to just getting pure ZEUZ. Not getting this, because this is very important. Yes, 1,000 less is technically 1 summon less, 1 less of 700, but I think I would take that on the chin. If they kept it the same, I'm very happy, obviously, but if they lowered it by about 1,000, I think I'm okay. If it goes down to like 2,000, I think that's really trash. really trash. So let me know what your guys' limits are on far as that when it comes to the game, or you can wait until you see it and then have that 2020 perspective on it. Like, see, this is exactly what I liked or didn't like. You may clear only 1 dungeon a day, and you will not be able to re-enter once you clear the dungeon. So in the Labyrinth, the formation penalties are removed, and there are no conditions to enter the dungeon. Will be initialized every month as before. Union's Labyrinth can be played after the update. The content is initialized on the 1st day of each month. It'll be initialized on the 1st. So it's not gonna be, today is the 29th, so it's gonna start on pretty much like Saturday, or the reset of Saturday, which I think is like Friday our time or something like that. So whatever, it's going to be on my birthday, August 1st, if you guys didn't know. So a lot of stuff coming on my birthday. The new enhancement system has been added. Now you can enhance each hero's element. So this is what they were saying before about destroying the Guardian Gate, because look at that. Oh, 300,000. I mean, that's not bad. Like, it's whatever. So, like I said, it's going to take this currency, a Mew, and it's going to take hero tokens, which is not really that bad, especially for me. I don't even use my Mews. I know it's supposed to enhance the fake cores, but like, I don't know, I just haven't cared. It hasn't really, I just haven't cared. This is something I think that will increase their sales of experience books and stuff like that, because I've never seen the purpose of doing that. It's just for impatientness. But now for people that really hate PvP, this might be the way to go. But I do think people are going to counter this by just not having mono anything, which I didn't really suggest too much in the first place, but I didn't think it was that worthy. For the bonus it was, right? The bonus of having 6 of something, but I think now just people will just have 5, you know, or 4 in something else and just switch it up a little bit. So even if you have one character, there would be no purpose of you doing this to like +5 to like break 5. Like, why would you do that? I think even just breaking 3 or 2 is usually going to be enough. I don't think you need to really invest too further into this, but it is a nice change. Requires, level 90, cool. Level 100 is if you have full max transcendence, whatever. So yeah, there it is. They're just saying that again. Pretty cool. And success rate. No. Why do games do this, man? I hate that shit so much, dude. All these resources, 300,000. I don't know how many of these, 1 mu and whatever of these, and it's just I saw it here, and I should have said it. I should have saw it. I ignored it, but it's gonna get worse. So it's even more discouraging for you to go further than like 2, possibly 3. Like, there's no purpose of doing that, because you don't need to do an auto attack and break 5 stones, because everyone's just going to adjust to that. So there's no purpose of doing that, especially because they decided to put a fucking success rate on it. Jesus, I hate RNG progression. So stupid. So it goes from 100%, 70%, and that's where I would stop. 50, I guess 50 is not that bad. +3 is not bad. But definitely wouldn't go 4, and I definitely wouldn't go 15. I'm not running that. That's stupid. Thank you for what you made something so good, and then you just put RNG behind it. That's gonna be for people that just get bored. They have resources and like, well, I guess I have the resources. I might as well just throw it up there. Choice Forge. Choice Forge has been added. From choice, you can craft equipment, selecting its type, attack, and part. Oh, this is ladies and gentlemen, we've been bitching and complaining about the blacksmith, and the blacksmith finally got a promotion, and because he's gonna do better work. Now you can actually craft the specific magical. Now, if this is fate, no, okay, so you're crafting it, but it still might not be fated, right? So it's really good, but it's not the best. It looks like you can't craft weapons though. You can only craft the equipment, which is helm, armor, gloves, boots, and accessories. But still pretty good. Step in the right direction, I'd say. Let's see. Each craft will cost, and we're gone. And bye. We're gone. And goodbye. And we're gone. It costs ZEUZ. Each craft will cost 700 ZEUZ. Excluding the first craft will be discounted at 200. They want you to try it. That's what that's for. And it says first craft, not first of the day, which I think would have been at least decent. Okay, but I'm just not spending ZEUZ on equipment. I just don't find the equipment to be that pivotal in this game. I think that units are just vastly stronger. I think that if you were to put 700 ZEUZ, a really good pull of equipment versus a really good pull of units, I think it's night and day. It's like you never want to, that really good pull of equipment is just not that good. It's just, you can do a lot with mediocre equipment is my point, but you can't do shit with mediocre units. I think if you could debate me on that all you want, I think that's pretty much a universal agreement there. Holy Dragon Grounds update. The new phase is added into the event. The Bone Dragon has increased hit in a new phase. Additional Bone Dragon skill. Dragon Strike, Dragon Roar, phase 3, so phase 4. So now it's a phase 4 now? So, what, is it just that dragon? I guess just that dragon that's phase 4. At the beginning of the release, a breath that removes all marks on self and all targets. I kind of don't care. I mean, it's probably very interesting, but since it's only one, this would have been a cool thing if they were keeping up with like the 3 runs per day, but it's like you're gonna throw in one, and you know, for this is a good update, obviously, for the people that have that are passing that threshold, and now they have another threshold and something to strive for. I do hope that this doesn't gate them from getting that 300 that they're currently getting. I hope this gates them from them getting through another tier that's above getting 300 right now. That are getting them even more. Like if they're giving you harder content, I hope they give better rewards at the same time, if that makes any sense. What is this? Voice actor information update. I can care less. Fusion ability locked functionality update. When the oh, this is like, so when you get all these things, if you have a good thing, you can start locking them. I think it costs ZEUZ again, And people, please stop fighting me on this. Stop fighting me. I mean, you can fight me all you want, obviously. Stop fighting me on the ZEUZ. We need more ZEUZ. There's so much stuff that costs ZEUZ in this game that really should not. They should have an alternate resource for it, or they should have, you know, just give us more stuff so we don't really feel so contentious of this. This is obviously a good mechanic that you'd want, because even I didn't know that when you're fusion coring, that, you know, it's like some of the stuff is like a roll. It's like a roll, and then like if you get a good roll, it can roll out of it, which is stupid. So instead of changing the fact that how stupid that is, they're like, why don't you lock it and use your resources for our clearly bad mechanic, because you know it's a bad mechanic because you're featuring a lock feature for it. So it's just it's stupid on pound of stupid. So I think that they should just not have it work that way. You can let it still cost ZEUZ, but just have it not work that way. It just makes no sense. Skill changes. Passive to Son of the Sutherland. The passive skill Ice Shower is changed into, oh, so it is now that in general. Flat Flap or Flop Flop. So Flat Flap is if the caster is in each valid attack imbues Polymorph. Polymorph is just a stun. Polymorph is the same effect as physical. Just call it a stun. Like, it's so stupid. It's like, why is it Flat Flap or Flop Flop? Why don't it just be one thing? So it looks like the Ice Shower thing is just being changed. So now, and it's also bad because, especially a person like me who dropped the video that's called Ice Shower, now it almost makes it seem as though I have to go and make another video, because now people that are gonna play the game now are not gonna know what the hell flop. Oh, where's your flop flop guide or your flat flap guide? It's like, oh, it used to be called Ice Shower, but they decided to change it and make it do the same thing. Why? Just why? So it's the same thing, but they also in the above they called it modification. Yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do with these translations? I don't know. Each Dragon Fang. Dragon Fang? What's going on? Effect used by each elemental dragon by 20% is added for the passive of the Dragon Knight Blessing and Dragon Hunter Blessing. For example, if a hero has the Dragon Blessing passive is a dark element, decreases the enhanced Dragon Fang effect used by the dark elemental dragon. Okay, so the more Dragon Knights that you have in there that are that element, the better. So it just benefits you to build more of them if you want to get a better score, because it will lower the damage. I think that's that phase 4 thing. Hero Guide, Hero Battle. New Hero Battle is going to be April. No one cares. Let's see, World Event, Bayer Electric Fan. Oh yeah, I was seeing something about that. So I guess you Dorification Recipe exchanged. Whatever, don't care. Exos Pass update. So is there after the Exos Pass, the content allows you to clear. Is that they're making another one? Is that what they're saying here? Oh, after the updates, and it's gonna last until the end of August, pretty much. So another Exos Pass is coming. Pretty cool. That's nice and all. Attendance book. It's going to issue with incorrect statistics info being indicated with the results of the battle team. No heroes have been fixed. Bug run fest. So all in all, it's a bunch of decent stuff in here. A lot of goods and bads, obviously. They definitely need to stop doing RNG progression right now. You need to. The labyrinth is going to be cool. That reverse thing, or where is it? I'll scroll back up. Path of Trials is going to be nice as well. So a lot of cool things they've done, but it's also like some like weird things, like just stop trying to do separate. Like, it's funny because in Epic 7, people would love this. They would love to be able to summon for like the artifacts and stuff, but this is not like artifact level. This is gear. Like, this is the gear in the game. So that's why this doesn't hold as true as like, oh, let me summon for an artifact like an Epic 7 style. Doesn't hold weight in this game. I can understand why they may have thought that it did, but it just doesn't hold weight in this game. Iris is pretty cool. She obviously is going to destroy a lot of the whole meta of Dragon Bloods and Ice Force Guardian. Everything's getting mixed up in my head. So all in all, it's a good update, but there are some silly, concerning things in here that it's like they still don't understand. I mean, they do understand. I need to stop pretending like they're stupid. They're not stupid. Unnecessarily frustrating things that they're still adding into the game where you could have knocked it out of the park. I think the biggest telltale, not even this, I'll actually give this somewhat of a pass, right? But the worst thing that they have here by far is this. This was the worst. Hands down the worst thing, in that it's like it's such a decent system, but the fact that they made it cost ZEUZ is just stupid. There's so many other resources that they could have made this cost, like the standard resources. and then it would have just allowed people to start to transition into late game easier without having to spend their summon currency. Anywho, I've been talking for about 30 minutes. And hopefully this update's good. I know a lot of people have been waiting for some news. It was pretty much a dry week. And by the way, guys, a lot of the games do that. It's fine. They don't have to have content out every week. Fine. I do think that they could have marketed their empty weeks better, kept people kind of like engaged. They did not, so people just started to feel like the game's dying, is dead. And that's what happens when you don't hype people during the non-hype weeks. And even Epic 7 does it. Like they'll do a rerun banner, or they'll do a rerun like side story, just letting you guys know as the company, like, hey, we know it's a dead week, but you know, here's some stuff to do. We didn't have anything to do, and that was the problem with this week in question. That was the problem. We didn't have anything to do, and I think that they should be a little bit more smart with that. Now a lot of people are going to be able to try the Labyrinth, the Path of Trials. Some of the people, like with the Transcending, they're going to be trying that. There's going to be a lot of people trying things. More videos can come out. The content creation is more hype and all that stuff. It all correlates together. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think as far as like what you're excited about. Do you think Iris is broken? Do you think you're gonna summon for her? I think most people are gonna summon for her. I don't see why you wouldn't. What's Valentina gonna have, you know? If Iris is doing that, what's Valentina gonna do, you know? So see you guys later on when she's in the game, when we can test her out a little bit. Oh, I guess we have to summon for her first, and then we'll do a review for her. So summon video first, then review, all right? You guys know. Anyway, just remember that every day at the casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.